Top of page Reish. So he finished saying that the fact that that there's not Torah, that causes Golus Hashchina. Right? There's not Torah, there's no shoch of the Makim Pnimius, that causes Golus Hashchina. Loving Golus Hashchina, so now he's going to get into another discussion what Golus Hashchina is. In the East, Geras HaKodesh V'dal Lovin Mashkatz V'Tzavas HaRivosh. In the Geras HaKodesh Tanya, in Siman Chov Hey, Stas Lovin Mashkatz V'Tzavas HaRivosh. Mashma Midvorov She'ike in the Golus Hashchina Zayin and Slapshas Dvar Havai Blachis Ayin Sov. What is the Golus Hashchina? The fact that the Dvar Hashem, the Eibishter's speech, the Eibishter's energy, Kaviyachol, is invested in the Ein Solim, which means in the Goyim and the evil. So the Ein Solim, the 70 Malachim who control the 70 Umas. So that's called Golus. The Isashon, Sheyesh is Slapshas Ba'avai, the boy Shalakel. The whole Geras HaKodesh talks about an expression Tzavas HaRivosh. When a person is davens and there's a guy stands in front of him and then he interferes with his davening, so you have to be misbeinen. That's what says Tzavas HaRivosh. It's to misbeinen. Really, what is the power that gives the guy the ability to do it? It's really a likus, and the Snagdi who opposed the idea very angry. Why? What does it mean that the Eibishter is in the Goy can say that? There's all arichas in that Simcha Fei. One of the points he says that the Golus Hashchina is that the Dvar Hashem is mislabish in the Goy. And then move on. But there's a general question, not related to this particular detail. So why do we call it Golus? So Golus Hashchina means that the Shchina gives chayes. Shchina, the Dvar Hashem, is mislubish in the goy, that itself is called golus. With Bana Bais, the time of the Samikdash, there was a world out there too. There existed a whole world of goyim, and the Eibishter gave him chayes. If it wouldn't be, if there would be no chayes in the rest of the world, they would cease to exist. So that's a general question. It applies also to the learned earlier. The whole thing is said, what does Golus Hashchina mean? But there's no lack of learning, when there's lack of Torah, etc., etc. Why is that? If Golus Hashchina means the general Indian, that the Eibishter gives chayes to klippers, to eat the goyim, so that's something that existed always. In Mizman Abayis also, why is it called Golus? Why is it Golus Hashchina? That after there was the Churban, there's a Golus. The Golus is always, according to this understanding in Tanya, that the Golus Hashchina is the effect that there is a Slapshas Dvar Hashem Lach Yes. So that's a general question. Well, to answer the question, he goes into a whole new discussion. So now to explain that, he'll speak what is the Indian of Slapshas and Gedusha, and he'll show what the difference in Slapshas and Gedusha and the Indian of Golus. Slapshas Gedusha means that the Eibishter is melubish Kaviyachol. He invests himself and clothes himself in this world, in the elements of the Shtalshos of Gedusha. And then there's another level that he lowers himself in Lomas. So that's a difference. So first we have to understand why it was in Kedush. Inyan the Inyan Saf Yadosh Zaknas Mispashet. Levad. And so that we learn the Fima Morim in London, various places. It's called oil. Why is it called oil? One of the reasons it's called oil is because It's only an external expression, like the light. That's smooth. The essence of the likus is not there. It's only the expression. Just like the light and the ray of the sun, one, if the shemesh itself would come down in this world, so it's negated the shemesh because it's part of him. But if it's just an external, he's where he is. Now, worse, there's an external expression, so in negaya, it doesn't affect him. That's one. So that means the concept of similar. That's the marshal, obviously. The nimshal himself, the same thing. The Eibush himself is above it. There's a that's made, but I understand also play. What in the game is he's not affected by it. When there's another marshal for that concept from another like Chassidus always brings two, talks about and stuff, the two mashalim, shemesh and v'chayis hanefesh. So the other marshal will see it more clearly. Moiken Yuvan me'er v'chayis hanefesh, saraj guf, shuzeh rak aos hanefesh. The nefesh mislavish beguf. What level? When we look at the neshama, the way shebeguf, which is the part of the neshama that gives life to the body, to all the parts of the body, the seichel, the midas, everything. That's only a horas of neshama. It's not the neshama itself. It was proved that there's a concept of the neshama itself. Was proved in Gilgulim. In Gilgulim, we see that the neshama is there, but the ha'or is not there. But that's why the animal or the object that the neshama is megil there does not show any different personality because it's not the ha'or is not there. Well, so I just say the marshal says a nefesh there is a concept of the nefesh that's the known concept in Kabbalah. One of the punishments of a person is if he does something, certain specific sins, so there's a gargle be behemoth. His neshama is a megulgul in an animal. But then he says introduces a new thing which is not that common. There's also a concept of gulgul b'doimim k'may even mikir tizak. That the Evan can scream, that's a sign that can be a Gilgul Daimon. Get to us, so I'm not sure again why he has to bring that. You can if you say the same thing about the behemoth. The behemoth is not for some reason it means the Evan. If the nefesh is megulgul in the Evan, why don't we see in the Evan something similar to what we see when the nefesh is megulgul in the body of a human being? Seichel is midas. Why isn't there seichel midas? Means the aras and nefesh there. What we see the kaicha is it's only the aras and nefesh. Loish and etzem nefesh is style b'kaichas. The etzem and nefesh or etzem echad ruchni pasha shein begad achayis la'achis. The etzem itself is not shein begad achayis la'achis. It's not doesn't have that aspect that is machayim and gives kaichas. There's the etzem which is above it. The etzem and nefesh. The ingim gam etzem nefesh is style by kaichas. The etzem nefesh I need to by heaven. It's a place shein by heaven. If the only way the etzem and nefesh exists, then it has specific kaicha. So then, when it's in the Evan, should have been a shini by Evan. Shazem the she'etz v'nefesh etzem pasha. Raka os hanefesh b'vischak the kaichas. What the ischachas of kaichas hanefesh? That's only a function of oras hanefesh. The etzem nefesh is above it. The mela begilgulim she'oras hanefesh. Everybody saw much himself lo yashini by Evan. When there's megulgul in the Evan, in our case, And lo yesh. You see, there's no change in the heaven. That's because only the etzem is there, but the aor is not there. Nimtza shechayes hanefesh. So from all these people we see, chayes hanefesh is like chayes erev zil v'adin hanefesh. He has to bring this entire people, Gilgulim, to prove the point that there's a neos hanefesh and etzem hanefesh, two different entities. Aber zeh chiluk.
He's not bringing out that Galus Shechina. There's nothing to do with Galus Shechina.
Well, eventually it's going to get to it. No, but okay.
But the Gilgulim has nothing to do with the Galus Shechina. Like the mushroom.
No. The Gilgulim is just to bring out the point that the Oya Nefesh is not the Etzem Nefesh. The Oya is something separate. That's all. אבל זהו חלוק, חייץ הנפש שמש, I know it says lamet, I think it should be a mem. What there's a difference between the chayes hanefesh and ziv hashemesh. What's the difference? Chayes hanefesh are the tfisa v'slapshus. The way the chayes hanefesh is invested in the body, it's between these slapshus. It's invested and it's grasped and it's captured by the goof. It's not like you plopped in the shama in the body and automatically the body is alive. There's a certain interaction here. Then they feel, all the limbs of the body feel that there's a nefesh. That's one thing. Number one, it's magishim. And another point, chayes nefesh fits bakshama means it becomes more material. It's not nefesh is a spiritual being. Etzem ruchni. In the nefesh, what happens is that the chayes nefesh becomes more בהגשמה, the proper word, כפי נבוא, שזה מה שהעין רואה דו בגשמה. The koyach ha're'iyah, the nefesh is not seeing physical things, because nefesh is a spiritual being. But the koyach ha're'iyah, the nefesh is mislabish in the body, in the eye, so the koyach ha're'iyah, the nefesh sees drawing gashmi, sees physical things. The way the shemesh operates, that it's not slapshus, but derech makim. So that's a difference with shemesh and nefesh. Maksha shemesh poya pula shemesh. We see that the shemesh does create, affects different results in this world. The truth, another place that means more dogmas. That the shemesh in one place it makes things one way. The effect is different. But here he brings only one pasuk. Make it with shemesh. It's in Parashat Elul now. We make that the tvois shemesh is a result of the shemesh. Tvois is a result of the shemesh.
I'm sorry. Can I interrupt you? I'm sorry. I'm a little behind, but I'm just reading. So he's saying what is saying Gilgulim. What's that?
That when the nefesh is goggled in a behemoth, let's say, so it's only the etzem there. The other nefesh is not there; it's hidden. That's why we don't see the behemoth any shinui, any changes.
I thought it's saying farker to etzem hanasham. It's saying like. That Mishum Zer lo yeshinun ba'even. The line before it said Begulim Sharat Hanefesh Ubetamud. Mishum Zer lo yeshinun ba'even. Uma shegam etzem hanefesh mekushar beguf. So it's saying that the line before, I'm sorry, Shazu mepnei etzem hanefesh u etzem pashut. But like Harat Hanefesh ba'beitchal the kochot. No, it's saying that the Hara goes into the Gilgulim or into the Evan. The
Not
etzem.
the Gilgulim. No. That line doesn't talk about Gilgulim. says in a body, in a human being, the etzem, the ha'ara is based chalkus. Because in the human being, the ha'ara is there, but in the gilgulim, only the etzem is there. The ha'ara is not there. That's why there's no shingles.
So in the Evan and other domem and everything else is not, the etzem is not there. Yes,
That's
it's just
not
the hara.
only the etzem is there. The ha'ara is not there. But it said that.
No,
That's
it
the
says
opposite.
right. Saying be'evan mishum zel lo yeshinu be'evan, because if it was the etzem,
Because the
then
ha'ara is based salmos. Mishum sha'ara seven based salmos.
so and how is it that in the Gilgulim the etzem is there? Why what makes it that etzem is there? What is the indication that the
That's the real good one. I don't know. We don't know. There's no effect. When you look at behemoth has a gilgul, do we see any effect? We don't see any effect. We just know that there's no gilgul there. We don't.
So but he's saying if there is a etzem, then it's a shinui, correct? Like the Evan.
No, the opposite. No. Or if the ha'ara is there, there's a shinui. The
Why?
etzem is not. No. The opposite.
No, what's the logic? I don't understand. If the why is if there's the ara is a shinui? Why?
Because the ha'ara is the koiches. The ha'ara nefesh means the koiches and nefesh. The koiches and nefesh means all the effects of the nefesh. There's seichel, there's midas, there's life. These parts, that's the ha'ara and nefesh. The etzem nefesh is just the nefesh itself. What is it called? Etzem echad ruchni pasha sheina beged achayis. Now, so the etzem in the Gilgul, only the etzem is there. That's why we don't see any change, because the ha'ara is not there. In the human body, we have the ha'ara, and that's why in the human body, when the nefesh is in the human body, you have everything. You have the koiches and seichel and midas.
But not Bezgalus, correct? In the
Yes,
etzem.
in the Adam it is Bezgalus, and then in the Behema it's not Bezgalus. In the Behema it's only the etzem without the gilui. Mashenken in the Adam it's the gilui. That's why in the Adam we have shinuim.
Oh, that's why it's a sar for the neshama, because the esem is there, doesn't have the way to be megabic.
Okay, that's true. That he doesn't say it. Yeah, I guess.
But I think we learned it before. Some other.
Yes, right. You learned in other places. Right.
No, thank you. Sorry to bring you back.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so now we're talking about the shemesh. So it brings in another point. We see that the shemesh has different effects. Like it says, mega to shemesh, mega to ganashilach. That some parts of the tvois are affected by the sun, and some are affected by the moon, which means the sun does not. So we see there's a difference. We just said that the sun is v'derech maki, but everything is equal. So how can we say? Why is the pasuk saying mega to shemesh, mega to ganashilach? That some parts of the tvo of the grain is affected. It's a result of the sun. Sun is the moon, which means that the sun has a specific effect. So we just said the sun is v'derech maki. Pulas sheines means that there's different types of pulas. Like I said, another place Chassidus brings more psukim, more sources. I forgot now what they are. Here we had someone in my mom this sefer also. I forgot now. That the shemesh has different effects on different types of fruit, different types of vegetables. So the we just said it's makif. It says the answer yadua shezeh rak b'derech nelam p'nashina mahus. That's something it's not clear to me what he's saying. That I guess the pa'ula of the shemesh in the particular vegetation is not be'efun from slapshus, but it's b'derech nelam and shinamahus. I don't know what shinamahus means. That the earth transforms into something else. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, so that's an negay. We're talking about a mashal here. So the mashal here is that there's two modes of expressing itself. One is with a makiv, like the shemesh, which is just the sun shines every place. Some places it makes too hot, some places it makes light, and sometimes because it shines on something that you see the ugliness of the place, and sometimes places see the beauty of the place. Doesn't matter. The sun just shines. The effect doesn't matter to the sun. That's called b'derech makif. Hashenke b'nefesh is the nefesh is invested in every part of the body and according to what it needs. So the koyach hariyah is in the ayin, the koyach hashmi is in the oizen, the koyach seichel is in the moyach. Okay, so you finish that point. But then it says, Gam nefesh, yes, Gam p'nes makif v'vayin, I also p'nes makif v'chomak mashol. But the nefesh also has that aspect. Nefesh is both. In the koyach and nefesh gufa, there are two madrigas. There is the koyach pnimim that you just said, the marshal he bought from ayin, from riyah, and but there's also the koyach makif shebenefesh, which is b'chol makom mashol. So we see here. So we brought two mashalim from shemesh and nefesh to express by and sof. It's called oil. Why can you learn? So that was a nimshul. Then sof zaka always a mispashit. The oil and sof. It's only all with the mispashit. It's only an external reflection. Not only that, it's a whole deha. The hour that reaches us, it's a reflection of a reflection. It's a derivative of a reflection. There's the last thing you said in the get to never. There's the makif and the pnimi. Same thing. The hour of Milo, there's the hour of makif. There's the hour of pnimi. So that's the nimshal, what we just said. But there's a difference between the mashal and the nimshal in this particular concept. The last thing we just said. Why? When the limbs of the body feel, then the koyches and nefesh, what do they feel? They just feel the existence, the mitzius, the existence of the nefesh. You can't say that the Eva feels what? The essence of the nefesh. It just knows that it's there. So he jumps right away in the nimshal. He didn't say it earlier more explicitly. So the Evorim Lamailo, the Evorim are the Kelim of the Oilmas. The Oilmas are the Chayos, and the Kelim are the Evorim. So the Kelim Lamailo are different than the Evorim of the Guf. The Evorim of the Guf only perceive the Mitzias of the Nefesh, of the Oil Nefesh. And the Lamailo, the Kelim Magishim Mahusa. The Kelim feel the essence of the Oil, not only the Mitzias. Shazel Inyan Hiyu v'gamoy echad. That's what it says in Tikkun Zohar. Hiyu v'gamoy echad. The Alter Rebbe explains it in Yasakret Shim Chavok. Gamoy means the kelim. In the English, the famous in the not famous the fancy English translation in the Yasakret. Hiyu v'gamoy is he in his causations. Causation is whatever he causes. But the Chassidus explains means the kelim. Hiyu means the Eiveshter. V'gamoy echad, they're united. What is united? He says pshat. Shemargishim mahus ha'oil. V'gamoy, the kelim, are united with the oil in a way that they feel not only the metzius but also the mahus. Mashla zeh machov v'yayis ha'gav kelim lebiyah. So that mashla for Evorim, that the Evorim only. Not the Metzius and Nefesh. And the Musa Nefesh, that doesn't apply to Kelim Datzilus. The Kelim Datzilus is even Gamay Chad. But Mashenken, the Kelim Debiyah, it says clearly, Lav Yir B'Gamay Chad. Kelim Debiyah created in a way that the Eiveshter, the Likus, and the Kelim are not united, they're separate. She'ena Magisha Mahusa, Yisam Kinasiyesh. So we jumped like we jumped into a new discussion here. So there's a difference in Kelim Datzilus and Kelim Debiyah. Kelim Datzilus, that the Kelim are united with the oil in a way that they perceive mehusar. Mashen can be they're like the Evei Aguf. They know the Metzius Eliki, but they don't perceive, they don't get its essence. Why? There's something else, yes, because they're two separate, two independent beings. And he's independent, he cannot perceive the essence of Eliki, which is bit. Okay. So he said we finished something. Now he starts taking us back to the original discussion. Why was the whole this all these slapshas happen? Why did the Eivishter, why did the early key in the Lubash and the Kalim? First the Kalim, that's it, the Kalim. What is the ultimate purpose? The purpose of this entire process, this entire chain of events, the Shtashlis, Atzilus, Bria, the Kalim, Eres, what is the ultimate purpose? The Eivishter wants to create limited beings like us. So in order for that to happen, there has to be this entire play back and forth. The oil and the keli. First, the keli is Gamay Chad, and Ilavi is Gamay Chad. And there's Mashal benefit, and there's a Mashal on that too. Al day, Slav Shtais, Nefesh Ba'aguf, al day Zen, Ishtane, Kefir Efen Ever Aguf. And to the fact that the Nefesh is mislavish, it invests itself in the Guf, so the Nefesh is Mishtane. Shekoy Charish, Matash Bain, like I said earlier. The Kaicharish of Nefesh is a spiritual type of ear. He doesn't see physical things, he sees the spiritual things. Mislavish and the Ayin, in the physical eye, in the physical body, that makes him be able to capture, to the eye should be able to capture see things. The same thing, so it brings, for some reason, brings three dogmas here. How in the Nefesh, earlier just but one dogma here, but here it brings three dogmas. We see that the spiritual koiches of the Nefesh, by investing, by mislavish, by clothing themselves in the body, they become different. They change. They become more megush. Number one, the marshal number one is I. Marshal number two, koiches seichel maskal seichel gashes. Similar thing. The koiches seichel, the nefesh, before it's malubash and guf. What type of intellectual analysis does it do? Not about physical things. No, it's not masculine about things that we can gashmistic things. It's some kind of spiritual seichel. It's mislavish and mayach, which is a physical mayach. Then the seichel is masculine gash. And the third example is koichat nuah mislavish beyad. The power of movement, the koich of movement. That's nefesh. Again, movement in the spiritual sense means something else. It doesn't mean moving from one physical location to another. Movement, it's some kind of look, we're not spiritual beings, we don't know exactly what it is, we just know it's not physical, it's some kind of spiritual movement. But mislavish biyad, right? It's boys biyad, a mechalkin, magbin is goychat noah. So we see in these three examples, ayin and seichel and noah, that through the slapshes in the yad, in the parts of the body, so the koyach of the nefesh becomes more megusher. So that's the nimshul. L'maylo al yedei. The kalim, it's interesting the way he does it. The kalim make the oil more limited, so the male should be able to create physical beings. So that is the slapshas l'mayl of the early key, like we said. So first in came that Atzilus, and then it came the biyat. So the Eivishter should create physical beings.
So that's why that I'm saying that's what I read that from Friedrich Rebbe, Maimorim that is saying that the reason that this is exactly what he's saying in a different word, that the way that they are Sefirot is because HaKadosh Baruch Hu made them Besiur Adam. In other words, not the Adam is a Siur Lemala. It's true also, but I'm saying the reason for the Sefirot, as it says in here, is because a person, a Yid, has to be is created in this way. In other words, the Lemata is the reason, the ultimate reason for the Lemala, and not Farker. In other words, it's true that we are creating the Selem Elokim, but the real reason is because, as it says in here, that the Eden are to be created this way. Therefore, that's why we have Sefirot and Seder Station.
So I didn't understand. What? Repeat that? Sorry.
I'm saying that the reason is that to have, as it says in here, the Frierdiker Rebbe says in one of the Maimorim that it is not that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us based on the Sefirot. That's why we have Eser Kochot HaNefesh. But the real reason is the reverse. That the reason that we have the 10 Sefirot and the Hosed Rishtashur is because the Eden are like this. In other words, this is the main and the main thing is the Eden, and the Olamot Elyonim are the.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's related to what it says. Right, thank you. All right, and now he's going back to what he started all discussion. So let's remind ourselves again. Six started today. 6 lines on the top. It says, "They love in zetzach, love in tchila, in islapshus b'kedusha." So we just discussed what islapshus means. What does islapshus mean? So we just said islapshus. That means the early key, which is first of all, it's our then there's our dehor. That dehor is mislabish in the elements and say the ishtalshus in a way in order to create nivonim gashmi. Just like in the nefesh is mislabish in the limbs of the body. So the koyach nefesh itself becomes a koyach gashmi. But now he takes us back. Slapshus is based in slapshus. There are 2 types, the 2 ways they slapshus. Aleph Masha Melubish Shayla to Mashal Malbish. A base Mashalubish ain't a Mashal Malbish. The 2 ways they slapshus. One is that the one that is Melubish. It's easier to use the language of it's easier to use the language of mashpia mekabel than melubish and malbish. But it means I think it means malbish is the same thing. There's the ashpa and the mekabel, which is the malbish, the levush. So the question is, who is in control? So 2 ways. One is the melubish shaylet alam. It means that the mashpia is in full control. The Masha Maluba Shaylet Mashal Shaylet Zel Shalavush Alavush Taglo Chni Oishaber Halavalken Shalavush Shalavush Dak. The Lavush is a very refined and subtle type of Lavush, but mainly the Malubash, which means that the Mashpia is in full control. Aval Nashenkin Shalavush Lavush Gas. And there is a situation, the Lavush is a Lavush Gas. It's very crude. It's not refined. Then the mashpia, the melubash, is not in control of the lubush. Al derech mashal, we have a mashal to that too. Slav is the nefesh beguf. Agam shukuf eifna guf. You just said that the nefesh is slavish beguf, but the nefesh still control the guf. Kamoy mashal, kamoy kayharei ba'ayin. Agam shukuf gashmi. In the chaname, the nefesh, because of the guf, sees a dova gashmi. Bikoma koim, הרי מוישה ושואלת על הגוף באיזה מקום נראה סמליות. The nefesh, the person, the neshama controls what you should look at and how to look at it. Eiza makam leos amarios, where to go to look. So there is a certain control of the koyach hagigi. Chem b'koyach haseichel, agam shemas katzol legash, en achanam is because the neshama is rubish in the moyach, so he's marked katzol legash. Mikol makom ari k'fi eif nalaf na nefesh, beis eif niyas mayas. So there's control in the case of nefesh baguf, the nefesh controls. It's the nefesh like a load itself and with lubash in the guf, but the nefesh controls the guf. Schenken begilguli, Yechwan Litzlan, Shnefesh and guf beim, Arim lubash eine moish l'shat al mamish. Arabe, Ari al vush moish l'shat al nefesh. Shem shechas ha'inyanim ba'ami. It's interesting how this fits what he said earlier, but basically he's saying when the nefesh is in the behemoth, the nefesh has no control. The behemoth is doing whatever the behemoth wants. The fact that the nefesh in the behemoth does not affect the behemoth at all. Al derech mashal, yes, it's interesting mashal here. Adam kor besak, put the puss in a let's say that using a practical in a sleeping bag. You put the puss in a sleeping bag. Array. So somebody can pull the sleeping bag, and the person which was inside is just moved against his will. What the marshal? So that's the marshal. So we have basically a marshal and two Ifanim and Lavush. There's a Lavush, the Melubash. The mashpia Charlotte is in full control. Sometimes he loses control. He's being drawn by the when like we say that the person walks with the dog. Sometimes the dog pulls the person. He's controlled by someone else. So what is the nimshal? There's the milo. So that is the nimshal. That's it takes us back. Should be slaps. There's the kelim. When we talk about the slaps, there's the kelim. I feel it can be yar and a little bit da film kenem de biya agam shemetzias yesh bekom kempnes bit layesh. So even the kenem de biya with tzis na yesh, there's bit layesh. So the kenem are bottled to the iris, and the iris biya is in control. The Eibush is in control. Yesh oidev in Islam just mashal bash eine mashal. Then there's a concept of the mile in the iris elyenim. The way the Eibush is melubash in the world that is kaviyachol losing control. Kamasha Kosov, Zamasha Kosov, Al Bishamayim Kados, Vesak Osim Ksusov. I will enclose the heavens with darkness, Sak, which is like I said before. What is the translation for Sak? Sak, I don't remember. שזה מה שמסלבש בלבוש משאינו כפיר ציינו, להשפיע שאינו על פיר ציינו, מי שאינו על פיר ציינו. Sometimes the Eibishter insert, that's why I created a system, that there's some madrigas that is against it saying he's doing something which is against what is real righteousness. Okay, so he starts with the positive. But that's really what he said earlier about the Goyim also, earlier when he spoke about the Ramshacha to the Klippas. Pasuk says, that Raftu, the abundance of good goes to Vesisol. The ultimate Pnimis Arats and this time Mashpia only to Shamasisol. Shayafila Paishi saw Malay Mitzvahs Kerimen, the Zer Shakasa Kapel Kerimen, Shafila Ikanim Shabachmalay Mitzvahs Kerimen. I don't know, for some reason, the Maniach, there's the Pasuk backwards. Pasuk says, Kapela Chamina Rina Kasef, in Shash, for some reason, you got it backwards. However, So the Gemara learns on the pasuk Lechem Akav Shafila Paisha Sam Leim Skerim. Mela Ira Gona Shpil Shem Sisol. So because the Paisha is all Eden are full mitzvahs, that's why what the Eivishter wants all along. That his Ratzon is Shpil Shem Sisol. Well, Raya in this Raya to the Tosa. Raya Wachad Netzer. There's a story of Nebuchadnezzar, the Gemara says in Sanhedrin, Gimel Psia Shipos Hashem Shamayim, Zachal Yes Melech V'Kippur. Because there were 3 steps he made, Hashem Shamayim, that's why he became the superpower. Just because such a small act of merit. He got such greatness, he became the superpower. So the Eibishter wants to be mashpia in Neshamas Yisrael. Umemela is lapshus. So okay, so now he goes back to explain what Golos is. So this is Golos. Golos means when the Melubosh is not in control. He's mashpia to something that doesn't really want to be mashpia. But it's going back to the way it is Nashabamis. There are 2 ways that the the first way that the Melubash is in control, that's the way it's tzaddikim. In tzaddikim, the nefesh l'kis is the ikka, and the guf is tofu. Famous expression, Hillel. He went to eat. He said, "I'm going to be kind." With the poor part of my being, which is the guf. The guf is a separate, insignificant part. So that's tzaddik. But he says it's more specific and it can be applied. It can be applied in a more general way to everybody. People are in their Hashem, and they're occupied themselves. These bonis no likus, Cholav doesn't go to the Shabbat, and the entire they're busy to affect Bittul Nefesh Shabbat is Zer Mashem Alubash Mashem Mashat Amam. So in that case, the Nefesh Alikis is really in control. They try, whatever. I think every Hashem is like it says the Beinani of Tanya. Even the person is on the way to being a Beinani, even a Beinani for a certain part of the day. So in that point, the Melubash is Pshel Dal Malbash, is controlled. Nefesh Alikis controls Nefesh Shabbat. Then there's the other side when the Melubash is not the control. Again, so it brings also the R'Shem Shemesh Asliva, person of Mamish, like it brings in Tanya the Loshen. The Gemara says R'Shem Shemesh Asliva, their heart, their tigers control them, which is the Nefesh Habamis controls them. So that's a Melubash and Shabbat. But he says more specifically, not R'Shem. Every person is alive. Kumaykin, I feel that Edar Avay does not say Gavs Nefesh Habamis. Everybody in his life, in specific times of his day, of his life, Edar Avay is not concentrating, is not focusing on Avodas Hashem. So this is Gavs Nefesh Habamis. So that is Golos. Golos is, you remember, he says the question that Golos means when the Nefesh Alikis is not in control, or Golos Hashchina, if the Eibishter Kaviyachol gives chayas to Klippus, so that is not in control.
So I'm sorry, just trying to clear this idea. He's saying, so how is the effect of the Golos Lamala? So the fact that the Nefesh Elokis is not in control, therefore what? Why is the Golos Lamala?
What's the connection? It's 2 different things. it's two different things. I mean, they're interconnected, but here that's not talking about. It's two different. There's Golas Hashchina, it's Klepoyo. Okay, that is said earlier in the bottom of page Shmem, that because the Eibishter wants to be Mamshich only to soul, but because the soul are not Shnechel Mitzayim Chinam, that creates Golos. That creates that the Eibishter gives Chayes also to Klippas. That's Golos Hashchina. And it's not the same thing. I mean, one cause makes. I mean, I don't know if to say one causes the other. That there's the Golos in the Nefesh and the Golos Hashchina. It's not right over here. It doesn't say how they are interconnected.
But he's saying Vezu Golos Lamaila. It's saying that.
Then Golos Lamaila. No, then Golos Lamaila applies what he said earlier. That what is Islapshus Belavushim Lashpia Mishenet Fertzena. There's a Golos Lamaila. Then he says Kamoikin and Avshabamis. Then he summarizes. So we explain what does Golos Lamaila mean. That is Mashpia Belamokum Shein Eroi, and same thing Nefesh and Golos Lamat. And the Nefesh means the Nefesh Alikis is controlled by the Nefesh Abamis. That's two different parts. Again, it says with Zewin and Golos Lamaila is what they said earlier in a few lines earlier, before he went to the mashal of the. He earlier said, "Kamoikin we stop Nefesh Abamis." It's two different. He said. Mele is Lapshus Bushel Mashpia Mishen Eroi, Mishen Vetzania, are Golos Lamaila. Kamoikin who benefesh. Then it summarizes with Zayin Golos Lamaila, when Golos Nefesh. So we explained the two parts of Golos. Golos and Lamaila means when it's Mashpia to Mishen Vetzania, Mashpia to Vetzania. And here, and then the Nefesh, when the Nefesh is controlled the Nefesh Abamis, like by Shoyim, by Mishen Eivet. Agam deksiv kvoidi lachal loy etim. So that he has a question. How do we say that there's Golos Hashchina, the Shechina, he the Eibishter gives Eiches to the Klippers. Says in Pasuk, kvoidi lachal loy etim. I will not give my honor to the others. God, the Acham is the Klippers. He says we'll continue tomorrow this hemshech. All right.
When you're having fun, it goes quick.
What?
Yeah.
I said, when you're having fun, it goes quick. Time flies.
So, Mr. Tomorrow we are learning, but then Friday, when is it? When is Oshana Rabbah is Thursday night, correct?
I guess we'll see tomorrow, Danny. We have to ask him again.
Okay.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.